welcome to Winchester's 7 Habits of a Successful Hockey Player. My name is Simon Hazlitt, I'm one of the Winchester coaches. This short video will show you how to do some of the things that make really good players what they are. And really good players aren't players who do something particularly fantastic more than anyone else. The really good players are the ones that do the simple things correctly. So the first thing we're going to do is how you hold the hockey stick, the grip. The first thing to remember about that is the hockey stick is held in the fingers and not in the hand. Okay, so we have the stick resting on our left thigh, like that. Our left hand is put round the back of the stick in the fingers, and our right hand is put beyond the grip over halfway down. And that is the grip, and all good hockey players hold the stick lightly in the fingers, and they have, when they're doing their dribbling, they have their hand around the back of the stick with their top hand with their left. Okay, welcome to the second habit of a successful hockey player, and that is how you turn the stick over. And of course, hockey's played just with the flat side of the stick, not with that side. So when the ball gets to here, you need to turn the stick. Notice, as I do it, all the work is done with the left hand. And remember from our last little habit, the left hand is around the back of the stick. The right hand is just held very lightly on the stick like that. And as it comes over, the stick is turned with the left hand and back again. Now most of you will be right-handed and will be wondering why you can't do it with the right hand. But look, if I do it with the right hand now, I turn it and my shoulder moves and my head moves. Yeah, and good ball playing of any description needs a still head. So watch me. So as I move, the stick is reasonably smoothly going over the ball, back and forth, without my head moving, and it's just turning, and we call that a twizzle. Okay, the third aspect of good hockey playing is the way that good hockey players move with the ball and how they have it in relation to their feet. Okay, when you see bad hockey players at the start or beginners, they'll have their hands at the top of the stick and their ball right down by their feet, which means that the ball, in order to look at the ball, you can't look anywhere else. And a good hockey player is someone who has their head up so that they can pass the ball. So, well, we talked about the grip, we talked about the twizzle, but the other thing is a good hockey player has the ball a long way away from their feet. If you look to see now how far away. So what we like to say at Winchester, we take a matchstick out of our pocket, figuratively, put it under our chin, and so we have bent legs, we have a high chin and low hands. And the stick now is almost parallel to the ground, and we play hockey here. And the reason is because we can see the ball and the opponent and our teammates, because passing is the deadliest skill in the game, and in order to pass properly, you need to have your head right up, your hands low. Okay, the next thing we go on to is how good hockey players keep the stick neutral. And what we mean by that is the stick is 90 degrees from the ground. Okay, not bent over like that or up in the air. Keeping the stick neutral at all times gives you the highest quality of movement on the ball, to keep the ball flat on the ground. And so the way to play hockey, notice the stick is absolutely neutral, and even there it's neutral. Okay, so back it comes and you play hockey here. Now sometimes you'll get to there, and bad hockey players will do that, good ones will do that. And equally here, rather than getting to there and chipping in the air, you play hockey, use your upper arms to make sure that the stick is as neutral for as long as possible. The next thing we do, a good hockey player is the person who spends the most time with the ball outside their right foot. We call it in hockey keeping it strong. Okay, over here it's no good to anyone, and you can do a punchy little reverse stick hit. That's great, it looks good, and maybe it's successful at shooting at goal, but anything else, it's completely unsuccessful. So what we do is we use our skill and our feet to make sure the ball is what's called strong, which is outside our right foot here at all times. So as you move, you can move with the ball, but keeping it here and getting it there quickly as you can means that you're in a position to pass it. said, is the deadliest skill you can have, and there are lots of different ways to push it, and we won't go into that, but just to look at the hit to start with, because too many people spend their lives with no bend in the wrists, and they like to hit the ball like that. Well, that's fine for some ways, but you really need to learn as a good hockey player, and all good hockey players can do this, is to hit the ball with the wrists, okay? So what we do is we have the ball outside, we point our left shoulder where we're going, and the wrists are bent like chopping wood. And as you swing through, the wrist bend here. So back and forth. We call this a waggly hit at Winchester, and we get the wrists going back and forth there. And so very quickly, with very little effort, you can hit the ball very hard. Okay, the last of our 7 successful habits is the one about keeping moving. Hockey is a game of space, there's no offside now, and you need to keep moving. The minute you stop still is the minute that someone bypasses you. So good hockey players keep live on their feet. So the hockey that you see sometimes down here and down here is really only appropriate for maybe 1 or 2% of the time when it's very tight and very congested in both Ds. The rest of the time, that shouldn't be done simply because you can't move from here. So if you're going to stop the ball as it comes, you stop it upright, because that means that you can keep moving, and when you're tackling, you keep moving like that, and you keep moving because that's the way you get the ball. The minute you stand still is the minute you get bypassed.